Hello YouTube, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. We are back. I've taken a few days off of recording just because I was very low energy, but we are back on with the videos. Got a few more lined up for you over the coming days, so stay tuned for that. But there's been some changes made to the plan today, so I thought I would pick up the camera, get things recorded, and let's get back in the swing of things. So today is just going to be a short video for once, because all the other videos have been like an hour long, but truly this will actually be a shorter video today. Going to do another full day of eating because we've been given a high day today. So last week, I think it was, we'd been running 9 low consecutive days, did a very high a very high influx of food for a couple of days to try and fill out a bit because I was running very flat. Then after that we went, well, I had the rest of the week off, okay, so I had a deload from there. No training, rest day food, no caffeine, really giving my body a full break. And yeah, I was mentally, that was the roughest prep's been so far. I'm going to touch on that in another video, but yeah, that was probably the hardest bit of this prep for sure. But we're back out the other end, and I've been feeling really good since getting back to like my regular schedule, with a few changes made here and there. I've been a whole lot better, and I can give you guys a lot more energy in these videos, but I will be transparent and I will be recording even when I am low energy, feeling rubbish, because I want you to see both sides, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows, that's for sure. But things have been moving very nicely, right? So I am around about the same way I was after the period of low days, but the visuals have improved massively, which is unbelievable, right? Really happy with that, because I had kind of got caught in the headspace of chasing the scales a bit and get myself stressed about things not moving. But ultimately it's a bodybuilding show, not a dieting show, okay? So I had a little word with myself, and something just flicked on Saturday, and I've came back in a lot better headspace. And I do think that because of that stress drop, and that stress kills physiques, okay? And since having that little mental switch, I've been in a much better spot and I'm responding better, so cannot complain whatsoever. But yeah, things have been moving. Hit not a new low, but second kind of like lowest weigh-in of prep so far, 74.95 as of this morning. A 0.6 like kilo drop overnight, which is a big drop, right? I haven't had that kind of a drop in a little while, and which was surprising because I was working 2 till 9 and I didn't get back till late, didn't have my last meal till late, was still trying to finish off my fluids late. So I was expecting to be a bit heavier this morning, but yeah, big drop. This was already planned, this high day, from yesterday, right? It got programmed in because we started to look a little bit flattening off again. And we just thought, right, let's put a little bit of food in before we then start to push on a little bit more, right? Because as of Sunday, we will be 3 weeks out. We're like just under 3.5 weeks out as of now. So there's still some work to be done, but we are getting closer and closer. So nowhere near as crazy as the last high day. This is only like an extra 100 gram of carbs going in today. Just a little something to top us up, see how we get on. And yeah, I will show you how it is. I've also, I'll show you some reviews as well, okay? Because, or I'll give you a review because I went out my way to buy some of these American Monsters for the post-caffeine relapse. And yeah, I tried 2 the last couple of days. So the Punked Passion, or whatever the fuck it's called, and then the Ultra Black, which is like a cherry one. So I'll do a review of those later on, and I'll give you like my thoughts on those. I've also just got a new hydration formula, so I'll give you a little review of that as well. And I've had I've had a big delivery come. I've been stocking up, impulse buying yet again, something I need to get on top of. So I'll run you through all the things that I've bought in this video as well. So full day of eating, plus unboxing, plus reviews. Yeah, we'll get a few different things in. I'll pop up the visuals of what I'm looking like at the moment. I'll do a comparison to how I looked around about the same weight. But this is pretty much like a little bit of like, this is where we're like starting to trial things for like peak week, okay? So with each meal today, I will be having a serving of Peak Max, which is a natural diuretic. And then we will assess the visuals tomorrow, see how we have responded to a little bit of extra carbs going in, plus obviously the Peak Max being added in as well. And just see what happens. I've also got an extra litre of fluids. As I mentioned, fluids are something that I'm tracking now properly, because I was just drinking to my heart's content up until around like a month out, okay, because now it's time to like see how my body responds. Same with my sodium and potassium, sodium and potassium. They're also getting weighed out, so 6 grams of pink salt, 4 grams of iodized salt every single day, spread across all my meals. And yeah, so that's the initial catch up with you guys. I will now show you meal 1. I've got that ready. I've just been to train anterior. First session back doing that since the deload. So on that deload week I did upper lower, had the rest of the week off, so this was the first one back. And yeah, I did feel a little bit flat in this session, to be honest. I could not get any like pump at all through my triceps, even though I had my non-stim pump formula first thing this morning. Just nothing going through. Lower body progressed nicely, but a little bit of a drop off on the upper half, but not concerned about that. Okay, right, like I had a big drop overnight. I'm getting leaner, visuals are improving, and the overall stimulus and the quality of the work that I was putting in was fine. Okay, that's what I'm chasing now, rather than like the logbook. So no point stressing about stuff like that, because ultimately, like, you are going to come to a point where numbers start dropping, but it's all about just maintaining that set quality. So let's get tucked in for meal 1, because I am at work. Well, I need to go to work very soon, so time to get this down. All right, catch you soon. So here we have meal 1. For this high day, as I mentioned, it's an extra 100 grams of carbs, around about that going in. So I've already had an additional 20 in my intra workout this morning for when I went to go train. So instead of 20 grams, it was 40 grams this morning. Now we've got the first actual influx of food, which is the chicken, rice and raspberry combination. So an extra 100 grams of rice has been added into this meal. We've also got the kombucha there on the side, and then look at that. Yeah, so you've already had a little sneak peek of what the electrolyte formula is that we're going to be reviewing. It is the Hydromax sour apple-tastic. So sweet, salty, like all these kind of flavors that they're just hitting a lot more at the moment. So you can probably tell, like with this meal, I just slap everything together. I can't be bothered to have it all separate. So the chicken, the rice, the raspberries, they're all in one bowl, and with a little bit of hot sauce on top. So sweet, salty, spicy, all that kind of stuff, sour. For me, it just works really well at the moment. So yeah, that is meal 1. I've got 3 more meals today. As I mentioned, I've got the Peak Max here to have with each meal. We are round about 4 litres of fluids in, and it's around midday. Okay, so we're on point, but I do want to taper my fluids off towards the end of the day, so that I'm not waking up throughout the night to need to go for a piss. I would quite like a night of undisturbed sleep, because every single night so far this week I've ended up going to the toilet at least once or twice, because I'm still adapting. Like 7.5 litres of fluids, sometimes I feel like I'm being restricted. So I like take my time. I don't want to rush anything and like have nothing be super thirsty towards the end of the day. And then I realized, oh, I've actually, like, this is plenty, right? I was definitely overdoing it. I'm pissing a lot less. Sorry, this is probably too much information, but throughout the day, I'm definitely having to go to the toilet a lot less. But then because I'm like, oh, fuck, I've still got these fluids to have, I'm then playing catch up towards the end of the day. But I want to get to a point where I'll have it figured out soon enough. All right. So in this meal, this is 708 calories, 49 protein, 105 carb, and 2 grams of fat. So yeah, very easy digesting post-workout meal. Replenish those glycogen stores, a little bit less protein than usual, 50 grams less of cooked chicken, just to help aid with digestion. And then yeah, 3 more meals today, which I will show you, but I need to get this down because I need to head off to work, so I'll catch you for the next meal. Hello again. We are on the way to work, which means it is Hydromax review time. So 1 scoop is 12 grams. Engineered catalyst, that is 4 grams per scoop. Hydroflow, 5 grams per scoop. So a bigger dosing with this one, trained by JP, that is 10 grams per scoop. You get, I believe, 40 servings with this one. With the Catalyst, you get 100. With Hydroflow, you get 30, and with trained by JP, you get 30. So with the Catalyst one, what I've been doing is I actually put in about a scoop and a half just to get a bit more taste out of it. If you remember my last review in one of the previous videos, I was having to make it with like not that much water, and I still do. I use like 250 ml for that one, just to get like the level of punch that I want from it. But with a scoop and a half of that one, it definitely tastes a lot better. And as always, it has to pass the fridge test first. It has to sit in the fridge for a good amount of time, very minimum 20 minutes before consumption, because that does drastically impact the flavour profile. But yeah, with a scoop and a half, it tastes a whole lot better. Like, I do like that one. It is still very coconutty. There's not that much cherry that I get from it, but it is still like a good one to have in the rotation. My client gave me the pink lemonade Hydroflow. Yeah, not really feeling that one. I've just been taking that one to have like post-workout, because I'm not that bothered about it. Like, first thing in the morning, I want like a nice one to start the day, so I normally go with the Trained by JP strawberry and pineapple. That's still my favourite, followed by Hydroflow lemon and raspberry, then probably the OG cherry coconut. But because it's not as much of a hydration formula, it's more of a kind of like intra-workout and carbohydrate uptake matrix, I just have that one like with a meal instead of some juice, or I have it intra-workout. I'll like have my intra-workout shake, and then I'll have that on the side as well, just because I don't really want to be mixing like my EAAs and that. I think it would just taste like a whole clusterfuck. I'd rather just have them separate. But Hydromax now, sour apple-tastic. Yeah, that's decent. That is decent. So they recommended that you mix it with 1 scoop with 500 mils of water. I already knew that was going to be very diluted, so I did 330, and even that, to me, I think that would be better with a little bit less in. So I'll probably drop that down to around like 300 or like 250 next time I have it, just so that the flavour's a bit more prominent. Like with like dilute squash, all that kind of stuff, I always have them very strong. I've always loved like very, very sweet things. Okay, if you can't tell already by how fucked my taste buds probably appear from meal one, I promise you though, right, when it comes to like the off season, I will probably just carry on doing that, because it actually works quite well. I don't think it does sound weird on paper, but I don't actually think it's like that weird, especially when you consider like Persian food and things like that. Like in their rice, they'll put like raisins or like dates, like sweet kind, like fruits, currants, all that kind of stuff, like pomegranate. So I don't think raspberry and rice is that weird of a combination, to be honest. Plus, adding some fructose to like your main like starchy carb sources, it actually helps with the uptake of carbohydrates. So a little bit of a knowledge bomb for you there. But yeah, that combo I think works really well, especially with like obviously like seasoned chicken. Maybe you put a little bit of cinnamon on top. Hot sauce. If you're wondering what like the other kind of like little bits were that were in it, that was I just do 1 little serving of kimchi, just for like gut health. Okay. I got given a tub off my client, so I've just been using the one that he gave me, because it was like a little bit of a bougier one than the one that I had. So I was like, yeah, let's give this a go. And it's really nice. But I've had kimchi in my meals for like a while. You don't need to overdo it. It is like 4 calories per serving. Obviously, again, peak week, won't be having it. It'll purely just be like the rice and the chicken. No probably seasoning or anything, just a bit like salt, maybe some pepper if I'm being spoiled by my coach. But yeah, forgot forgot where I was fucking going with that. Yeah, I don't think it's a weird flavour combination, but it works. The sauce that I put on top is a little bit of Cholula as well, which is basically like a 0-calorie hot sauce as well. So it all just works really well. But yeah, I think I will probably keep something like that in the off season because I do enjoy it. All the meals that I've been having, I do really enjoy. They're not like too like dissimilar to like I've always liked those ingredients anyways. They're just packaged like slightly differently and probably not ones that I would have like typically thrown together. Same for like this next meal, which I'll show you in a bit because I'm pulling into work now and I've got a stint on the desk, a few clients in, and it's back home, so I'll be having a meal here and then my last 2 at home. So pulled up now, time for me to wrap this bit up and then we'll have a proper chat down for the next meal. Alright guys, meal 2 time. So this will be a little bit of a shorter segment because this meal's unchanged from what I normally have and I'm at work at the moment, so I'm on the clock, can't be spending ages in here. Basically this one is a pro fat meal, so very minimal carbs coming from this one, only a little bit of fruit with this meal and obviously some veggies as well. So this one works out as 351 calories, 47 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat. And what it is my beef patty dog food bowl. It certainly doesn't look the most appetizing, but I'm enjoying it. That's the main thing. So that's why I call it the dog food bowl. As you can see, it does not look very appetizing. It is 200 grams of beef mince, 50 grams of carrot, 50 grams of beetroot, 50 grams of courgette, then a little bit of kimchi in this one as well. That's all the kimchi I'll have for a day. Don't have too much because it can upset digestion. And then also 20 grams of sugar-free ketchup, 10 grams of mustard, American mustard, and 5 grams of the Cholula hot sauce. So very plain, very basic, but it is filling and it does hit the spot. For the fruit, what I do is I have a little hybrid mix, 50 grams of pineapple, 50 grams of regular apple with lots of sweet cinnamon on there. Another thing that I just can't get enough of, sweet cinnamon. Absolute game changer. If you have not tried it, then get on that ASAP. So much better than regular cinnamon. Around about 6.5 litres in with my fluids now. Okay, so got 2 litres left for the day. I do still have a bit left in my water bottle at the moment. I've just got my next water bottle out, but that includes the fluids within, like my oats. I've also factored in my decaf coffee and a little glass of pop for later, just that like sweet treat for myself. But if you're someone who has never tracked water before or struggles to keep on top of their fluids, what I recommend is get something like this, which is a litre bottle. And obviously with that, all you need to do is just fill it up, or just grab one out of the fridge. So I have 4 that I keep in the fridge at all times just for convenience. I can take them to work, and then obviously whenever I like need a bottle of water, it's an easy way to just track how much I've been having, because I know that I have a litre at a time, and I've got an app now to track how much water I've had throughout the day, just to make it a bit easier. It was like £10 for like a year subscription, and then you can add in like all your other drinks and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, for like, what's that? It's less than fucking, it's cheap, right? So, and if I'm going to be using it, and I probably will carry on using it going forwards, to be honest, just because I do think I was taking a piss with my fluids. Probably won't restrict myself to 7.5 litres after prep, but especially when I've got a bit more in me to like actually hold those fluids. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping on top of that a lot more going forwards. But anyways, I want to go have this meal because I've got clients not long after this as well. So catch it for meal 3, and then we're going to have a proper sit down, proper talk, and go through some fun stuff, monster review and supplement unboxing. Alright guys, back from the gym and time for meal 3. Well, back from work really. I got back from the gym fucking ages ago. Shift done, clients, well, in-person clients done. Came back, done some of my responses for my online clients as well. Now, got a little bit of time back. It is 6:30, so I want to get a post up tonight of my anterior session from earlier. I've already edited that, got it uploaded to my phone, just need to stick it on Instagram. But yeah, it's time, first of all, for meal 3, because meal timing is a priority. And this is another one that's unchanged. So The only difference really today is going into my intra-workout shake, my meal one, and then final meal of the day. So this is what I've been running on my training days. I'll quickly flip the camera. Here we've got a new flavour to try. Kind of new anyways. So this is Naughtboy banoffee pie. I've had this before when I came back from Nottingham the first time for my first posing workshop. And I put it in oats, and I was pretty disappointed, to be fair, because I love banoffee stuff. I love banana flavouring. I just love banana, like any kind of like artificial or regular banana stuff, really. I love like the Ben & Jerry's or my banoffee pie. That is my go-to ice cream. I absolutely love that stuff. But yeah, I thought this time around I would try it in my yogurt bowl, see if it's any better than what it was in the oats. I have a feeling it will work better, right? So if you buy a protein powder and it doesn't taste amazing in like one thing, you need to try it in a multitude of different ways. Okay, so obviously you can put it in your oats, you can put it in your cream of rice, and you can put it in your rice pudding. All of those, I think, absorb flavours differently. So I think oats and cream of rice pick them up a lot better. Rice pudding, because it's so neutral, doesn't really pick it up as well. But then, if they're not great in that, right, you've always got yogurt to fall back on, like Greek yogurt. Give it some flavouring, because I don't know about you, but I don't like the taste of Greek yogurt on its own. I think it tastes like fucking shit, to be honest. So I always like putting something in there to flavour it. Then, if that doesn't work, there's obviously whey drip. I'm not a fan of like whey drip, as I've mentioned in previous videos. I think it just dilutes the flavour. I prefer to just mix mine into things, and it's less hassle, right? Can't really be asked to pour water in and stir. I'd rather just slap it in, bang, flavour whatever it is I'm eating. But then you can always go to that option, and I know a lot of people like it, so it might work better that way. And then also there's a shake, right? And then there's other foods that you can have it with. Like I've got a cookies and cream protein powder, which I'm really not a fan of, but when I was in my off season and I had like stupid amounts of carbs, like 800 carbs, so I was just looking for like easy digesting, super simple ways to get them down. It was cereal, and that cookies and cream one works well with cereal. You've also got Ninja Creamy as well. Mine's just been sat there collecting dust. I last used it on my birthday, July 2025, to make frozen drinks. I haven't actually made a pint of ice cream in it in ages, so I'm definitely going to start using that again in my reversed. It'll get used, right? I need to use it at some point. The reason why I was a bit hesitant to say in like the reverse diet phase, and this is something that I'm going to touch on in another video, is just because I feel like if you start going like overly, not even crazy, but if you start trying to get the most out of your food in terms of like making it taste too good, it can set you off on a slippery slope, and it can like lead to overeating when, you know, coming out of a prep diet into your reverse diet. The reverse diet is arguably harder. Like, as I've mentioned, my food focus isn't actually bad at all. It's just the energy levels. But coming out of the reverse diet, you've got nothing to work towards anymore. Obviously, like, that's people's normal like logic, their normal thinking. But for me, I want to set myself up perfectly for the off season. I don't know how I'm going to react. I didn't know how I was going to react to this prep, hunger wise, food focus wise. But I've dealt with it perfectly, like, and I'm really, really happy that that has been the case. But I do kind of want to be a bit cautious, because yeah, although like a Ninja Creamy, you can make it like 200 calories or something like that. I am also conscious, just because I've been there, right? I've done it a few times, of the fact that when you are in that reverse diet phase, when the goal isn't, say, as big as like your competition, right? You can definitely be a lot more inclined to like crumble, and then it's like, right, we'll make the creamy. Then it's like, right, I'll put some toppings in. Then maybe you just get a little bit more relaxed with putting your toppings in. You know, you start going like 1 scoop of peanut butter, then it goes like a gram over, and you're like, oh, I'll just round it up to the fucking next 10 gram. You know what I mean? Then same with like adding in pieces of chocolate and stuff like that. Oh, I've got half a square left, I'll just finish it with it. It can just like, I feel like it can definitely lead to these like triggers, all right? But it is going to get used. I'm going to have to use it, right? Because it is, like, I don't know why. it was one of those impulse buys that I bought in a dieting phase, but I think it is a really good dieting hack, to be fair. Like protein powder, like if you're in the pit, like protein powder and water, and then you can obviously get like a lot more out of it. You can always use like almond milk unsweetened, and it's only like, what, 13 calories per like 100 ml or something like that. So you can make it like really, really like low calorie and like voluminous. But yeah, I would just, one thing I'm going to try and do, at least for like a month post show, is probably just keep my food plan is like similar to like what it is. Just more of it, so that, you know, the temptation kind of like isn't there, just to be like cautious. And that's more for myself, but I would recommend that for people who've struggled with like binge eating and stuff like that. But anyways, right, so with this meal, this is 46 grams of protein, 25 grams of carb, 15 gram of fat. So a bit more fat in this meal, tiny bit more carbs, around about the same protein. It is 200 grams of yogurt, 20 grams of whey, 10 grams of honey, 100 grams of berries, 10 grams of pumpkin seeds, 15 grams of peanut butter, and 5 grams of dark chocolate. So what you'll see is like the last two meals that I've had are very like, they're pretty much just pro fat, okay? They're like very low carb. And the reason behind that is the priority is putting the carbohydrates around the training window. So obviously for me, I train fasted. That means I then put a good amount of carbohydrates into my intra-workout shake. Then post-workout, that is a good feeding of carbohydrates. And just because this is what suits me, I like more carbohydrates before bed. It can also help with dropping stress and helping you get off to bed easier by having a bigger influx of carbohydrates pre-bed. Obviously, give it enough time to digest. But that's always been my preference. I like going to bed with like my biggest meal of the day. So I have the majority of my carbohydrates pre, intra, post training, and then, well, obviously, all just intra and post for me, and then last meal of the day. Another thing that I've been having to do today is, which is a fucking pain in the arse, is like keeping on top of my step count. Obviously, with these high days, the whole point is to fill you back up and give the body a little bit of a freshen up. But it's like, how do you do that? Okay, well, one thing you can do is just reduce your output. So steps being like the main driver, especially if you're someone who's not doing cardio like myself at the moment. It's like, where else can you reduce that output, right? Because you want to be putting everything into your training. So then you need to look at the external factors after that. And steps is the only one for me. But with my job, it's very hard to keep it down. So my coach wanted me to do between 6,000 and 8,000 today. And I'm already on. So I'm already at 8,000 pretty much. So rest of the day, I'm on 7,982. So I've got 18 steps, and it probably takes 20 to just fucking get upstairs. It'll take 10 just to walk over to the kitchen table to eat this next meal. But yeah, it's because you are just trying to give your body a little bit of a break. You're trying to give your legs a rest. You're trying to just reduce as much stress. And that doesn't mean like mental stress. There is also like physical stress. And although steps are the least fatiguing option, they do still accumulate a little bit of stress. So I have been conscious of it today. I kind of knew it was going to be impossible, to be honest, to keep my steps down, because this is me without actually like going for a dedicated walk. This is all from walking up and downstairs in the house, going to the gym, and then being at work, and then having a couple, like being with my clients as well. So yeah, very, very hard to keep the steps down. Sorry, lost my train of thought. My dad just came back in there. But yeah, so on these high days, like the whole goal is to essentially just wash away some fatigue, all right, fill you back up. And the best way that you can do that is by reducing your output, putting a little bit more food in, getting a good night's sleep, and just doing your usual schedule, but a little bit less intense. So anyways, now it's time to get stuck into the yogurt bowl. So I will give you a taste test of the Naughtboy banoffee pie. I don't know if you can see that, but I've made 5 grams of dark chocolate go very, very far, whereas the peanut butter, it's right at the bottom of the tub now, so it's all clumped together. That hasn't spread as well as I would usually like, but oof. Taste test. Yeah, you can taste that a lot more in the yogurt. So I know for now this is a good yogurt flavour. what I've usually been using is the peanut butter blondie one. Again, that was a flavour that wasn't very good in oats. It just was a bit too subtle. Works really well with the yogurt, so really happy with that. Alongside that, part of my fluids, one sugar-free fizzy drink as well. So that is Tango Sours. They've just came out with these like new flavours, so that's the tropical one. I've been loving that and the watermelon. So I give myself a glass of that a day as well. I'm not trying to fucking suffer as much as I can on prep, you know, but I am also being sensible with these things and making sure that I'm not tanking like 2 litres of fucking sugar-free fizzy pop, because I don't want to fuck my digestion up, which is something I'm going to touch on later, because I have I've got a little story to tell you about my return to caffeine, but I'm going to finish this off, then I will go upstairs and we can have a proper chat, because I've got a few things that to go over, all right, before meal 4. Whoa, what do we have here then? So my parcel arrived, and this is what I was talking about, a big unboxing. It actually arrived yesterday whilst I was at work, and my brother had ordered some stuff as well, so he did the unboxing, unfortunately, so having to show you the finished product. But yeah, we are fully stocked up. There is no chance we are running out of whey whilst on prep or getting bored of any flavours. So there is the new edition, white chocolate salted peanut. There is a restock of cinnamon bun, some blueberry cobbler. I've had that one before. I tried some of my brother's a while ago, so I need to give it a proper run. A little restock of carrot cake. Already had that performed blueberry muffin. Already had that sticky toffee pudding one. Already had salted caramel. That on the top was the banoffee pie, which I just got before. Then we've got raspberry ripple, cinnamon bun, and then a cookies and cream one under there. That is peanut butter blondie. And then my friend donated some Naughtboy birthday cake cream of rice. I've also been asked whether I want someone's perform lemon cheesecake. So the answer was obviously yes, because we don't have enough whey as it is. And I've also got some more in my drawer. My room is legit like a fucking supplement store. So some carrot cake in there, plus some chocolate orange. Yeah, I've got a lot, right? I mean, there's worse things I could be fucking spending my money on, in all honesty. It's like, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't go out, like, I don't do anything other than this shit, so, you know, it keeps me ticking over, but that's definitely enough for now. That was a serious order. That was like 6 tubs. Plus, I've actually got some more chocolate orange coming on the way as well, and some other products still to review. So I will touch on that in a minute, because it lends into the final meal of the day. But when the rest of the packages come, I will also give you a little unboxing and show you the other stuff that I've ordered. It's not any more whey, I promise. The only reason that the chocolate orange one is coming later is because they just, obviously, they sold it but mustn't have had it like ready in stock, so should have came with the rest, but it's coming a little bit later. I've still got enough to tie me over. I've got more than enough of everything to tie me over, but chocolate orange specifically, yeah, that one was running low. So I mean, if you find a flavour that you like, it just makes sense to like top it up, you know what I mean? Like, you've got your funky options that you mix up every now and then, throw in when you're fancying something different, and then you've got your solid ones that you can always rely on, you know, when you're feeling undecisive. It's like, oh, don't know which one to go for, I'll go for all reliable. Quick monster review, because I didn't film it the other day when I relapsed and decided to have one for the first time since the caffeine break. So to reintroduce myself to caffeine, I did just start off with a black coffee on the Monday, kept it simple. Didn't want to go with anything too crazy after having that little break away, just eased my way back in. So 2 days of just one black coffee, and then on my rest day, I was like, right, I'm going to cut back on the caffeine. I'm just going to keep it to like 1 a day, whether that's coffee, whether it's Monster. And I'll just have the Monsters as a rest day treat. So the first one I started off with was the Punk Punch, which is like a kind of tropical cherryish flavour. And it was decent, right? I would probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. But what I'll say is, like, because it's one of the American flavours, you have to pay a bit more for a can. So I paid $3.95 for a can of it. Wasn't worth that. If it was like a regular Monster cost, it's definitely one that I would grab. But yeah, not for £4. Then the other one that I got was the Ultra Black, which is a cherry flavour, right? And this is the one that I've been waiting the longest amount of time to try. Such a letdown, honestly, such a letdown. It didn't taste of anything at all. Like, it wasn't bad, but it just did not live up to expectations. So 4.5 out of 10 for that one. Yeah, major letdown. And I'm at the point where, like, a lot of the Monsters they just taste the same. So you're really looking for something that like stands out. That's why I really like the Norris one, like the melon flavour, because it's so different to like all the others. Whereas, like, you know, White, Rosa, Strawberry Dreams, Ultra Fantasy, I feel like they all just kind of like, they're all pretty similar, to be honest. Like, there's like subtle differences, and like some are nicer than other, like, yeah, like some are nicer than others, but there's not that much like disparity between them. So yeah, to be honest, the other thing, Monster, I'm just taking it out completely now. After like re-adding them in, and I don't know if this is because they are the American versions, which obviously have like extra ingredients in, like the food standards over in America, they're not as high as in the UK. But they just did not agree with my stomach either. And at this point, I'm not willing to risk messing up my digestion. I don't want to throw anything off. I don't want to potentially get ill. So Monsters for now, completely out. Having a little breakaway made me realize I don't like need them. Like, it is like a habit rather than kind of like an enjoyment. Like, it is nice, you know, grabbing a super cold one out the fridge first thing in the morning, starting your day. But now that I'm like watching my fluids and stuff as well, a 500ml can of something that's just like not sitting too well, it's not the wisest choice, really, is it? And ultimately, like, I haven't put in all this work just to mess it up over a can of Monster. So that's not to say that I'm going to stop drinking them forever, right? Definitely not the case. And energy drinks in total. But I think I'm just at a point where my stomach is a little bit more sensitive to certain things, and I'd rather play it safe. So I'm going to stay away from the Monsters now for 8 weeks. Whoa, just realised, fucking eight weeks. Or actually no, 7 weeks, right? Because we are currently 3 weeks out, 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out. So yeah, probably around 7-8 weeks until I next have a Monster. Until that time, I will just be sticking to a black coffee a day, which, to be honest, I've been preferring, right? It's consistent. I love the black coffee that I have, and a warm drink at the moment, first thing in the morning. Like a coffee first thing in the morning, it just hits, right? When you're up from like 5 a.m, rushing around just before I go to the gym, yeah, and the sun's like coming up. I don't know what it is. That's, even if the weather's shit later on in the day, sometimes, like majority of the mornings, the sun will be up and it will be like a nice chill kind of environment, and just paired with the black coffee just goes very, very well. So leaving the Monsters out for now, sticking to the black coffee, and yeah, another little side segment. But next thing that's coming up, because I am due to have meal 4, is I'm going to quickly show you the other product that has arrived. It's a new one. It's been getting a lot of hype, and I'm going to do a little comparison for you here, just so that you can know, if you've never tried either of them, which one is best to go for. And here it is. So we've got the OG ESN rice pudding there, and the new engineered Hydrorice has arrived today. So I've got 4 kilos of this. This is the last bag that I've got of this. I bought a 3 kilo to begin with, see how I get on with it. But yeah, we have got the new Hydrorice from Engineered. So the main difference with this one is I think there's just a couple of extra grams of carbs per 100 grams. So a bit more carb dense than the ESN one. But the issue with ESN rice pudding, right, is one, well, I was quite late to the party, but apparently they changed the recipe. That used to apparently be a little bit better formula, and they're trying to go back to the old one. I think it used to require less water, 3-to-1 ratio for people who like theirs low volume. I'm on the higher volume side, so I've had like no issues. Like I haven't minded it. I just prefer oats and cream of rice. But this is supposedly not just a rival. From what I've seen online, people are saying that this is a better version of the ESM one. Issue with this as well, it is a fucking nightmare to source. If you ever go on the ESM website, it's never in stock. It's an absolute nightmare to try and buy some, which is why if it is available and you are planning on including this in your diet and keeping it in for the long run, especially if you're in like an off-season setting when food gets very, very high, especially carbohydrates, and you need an easy digestible source to get down, stock up on this stuff. But now that the engineered variation is available, this could be a very good alternative for people. So the main difference is for 3 kilos, this is $27.99. ESM always have a deal on as well, where it's like typically like code ESN for 20% off. This, I believe, was £22 for 2 kilos, right? So for an extra $5, you get an extra kilo. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it out tonight, because my final meal, spoiler alert, it includes rice pudding, but with a twist. So I'm going to prepare that now, and then I'll give you guys a live taste test of the new engineered Hydrorice, and we'll see what it's like. I'm hoping it lives up to expectations, because I don't want to fuck up my last meal of the day. I want to enjoy my food, but based off what everyone's been saying, I think I've got good expectations for this. So I'm going to prepare meal 4. I will show you what it's like, the finished product, alongside, because I forgot about this, this one was downstairs. The other flavour that I've got, that I'd ordered, is this Naughtboy maple pecan pancakes. So we are going to have a maple pecan base with our rice pudding, and I will show you all the other ingredients as well, so stay tuned for that. Here we go, the final product. So 100 grams of engineered Hydrorice, 100 grams of oats, 50 grams of blueberries, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 10 grams of coconut oil, and a healthy layer of sweet cinnamon, 45 grams of whey, with the Naughtboy maple pecan pancake powder. So I'm going to quickly review this because I want to have it while it's hot. This meal comes to 1,097 calories, 60 grams of protein, 156 grams of carbs, and 25 grams of fat. With this one, so I would normally do a 4-to-1 ratio, water to like rice pudding. When I have been making it for my standard bowl, my normal bowl normally just has 100 grams of oats and 50 grams of rice pudding. So this has got an extra 50 grams of rice pudding. But 4-to-1 is a fucking stupid ratio. That would be like 800 milliliters of water. And bear in mind, like, I'm on a fluid. I've got limited fluids, and also that's just like, yeah, that's just taking the piss with like volumizing. Okay, so 3-to-1 ratio here. Taste test, right? I know what you're thinking. How the fuck are you going to be able to taste anything with all that cinnamon on? rice pudding's a neutral flavour. This is going to be more like a consistency test rather than a taste test, but here we go. Considering the amount there is, and considering, I know like 45 grams of whey is like a good amount, but for like this amount of food, it's very like, imagine making a shake with 600 mils of like fluids and 45 grams of whey. It just wouldn't really taste as prominent. That whey powder is really, really nice. Highly, highly rate that. So glad I bought that one. Consistency wise, I would say the consistency is better with this one, to be honest, than the ESM. But they're still comparable, right? Like, if I had the option, it's like, would you rather get a slightly smaller bag but with better consistency, or you pay a little bit more and you get an extra kilo? Obviously, if you are consuming this, right, a 3 kilo bag sounds like a lot, but you're going to be having, most people are going to be having, like, for a normal portion, it's going to be around 100 grams, so you've got like a month's supply for 27 quid, versus a 2 kilo supply for, like, what did I say, £22 for 2 kilo or £27 for 3 kilos. So you just got to weigh up what's worth more to you, but both good options. Like, I like them both. My opinion's still the same now. I still just prefer like oat cream of rice on their own, but I do definitely see the benefit of rice pudding, and I do still like it. I just prefer the others. Also, the reason why I've got coconut oil in this is just because we want some added MCTs, healthy fats, as opposed to just getting it all purely from peanut butter, dark chocolate. Like, you need a variety of healthy fat sources. Like, at the moment, obviously, I don't have salmon in my meal plan anymore. I do have avocado on rest days, and eggs. But it's just like another good healthy fat source that's going in. But yeah, that's pretty good. So that's going to wrap up the full day of eating. Where is it? Here it is. So yeah, total calories for the day. Calories and macros: 209 protein, 346 carb, 51 fat, 2,754 calories in total. Yesterday, I was on 1,671, so about 1,000 extra calories, which is nice. But what I'll do from here is if there's anything like worth like showing, I'll do another segment on the before and afters. You know, before the high day, obviously I showed you at the beginning of the video what I look like this morning, in comparison to like around about the same weight a week and a bit ago. And if it's like worth covering, if there's any big changes, I'll do another segment where I cover today's physique versus tomorrow morning's. Put your comments down below. What do you think? Are we going to see a good response? This is a smaller high day than we would typically run. Just a little influx to keep us, fill us up a little bit before we start to dig again. Hopefully, see a cool response. But I highly doubt that there's going to be another high day anyways, because it's crunch time, right? We've got just over 3 weeks until the first show. So we want to just be we want to just be digging that little bit more to get that fat loss so we can get it like wrapped up, but that's not chasing a scale, that is like going off visuals. So we might see it tomorrow after some food being put in that actually look better, because normally I look worse after a high day, funnily enough. Whenever I get more carbs, I just seem to lose definition. Obviously, like, well, you hold more water, but it just doesn't really seem to go to the right places. And it never really fills me out the way that we were expecting. Initially, the next day. And it's like, I need a lot of fat in there as well to kind of slow the digestion of it. So it's not just like in and out my system. Because then the fill the fuck up protocol that we did, that Billy touched on his story, that took 8,000 calories. So the last severely high day that I did, it was 8,000 calories. And after, like, it took around 5 days for that look to then like saturate and then get what we were looking for. So that just gives you an idea of like how flat I was running and how much actually like how flat I was running and just like how much it needed to like fill me up. So peak week is going to be fun. I will be doing daily videos for the peak week, on show week, and covering as much as possible, showing you guys how we try to get filled up for a show. I've also got my decaf coffee here in the Liverpool mug. Just been smashed 4-2 by Villa. Happy fucking days. That means they go above us in the table. Absolutely fucking shite. Slot out. Baldy twat. But yeah, if it's worth covering, I'll do another segment and I'll just like talk through the visuals. Otherwise, if it's not that much change, I'll just pop it up here and here, and that'll be the end of the video. So if it is, I'll add some closing thoughts here. If it's not, then I'll just remove this section. But I hope you all enjoyed. I've got a few more videos planned. So the next one is going to be an Ultraflex posterior day walkthrough. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to record the actual training. I'm not going to like talk while I'm there, just because the audio when I did one of Viking, it was shit, and I don't know how to fix. I don't know how to like fix it in editing at the moment. I don't really have time to be like figuring it out. So I'll just record the training session and then do the talk over from home. And then I've got a couple more videos planned as well, which I'm going to get recorded this weekend. So back to regular uploads. And then, yeah, so thank you very much if you've got this far. I do really appreciate it. I've had some comments from people in person as well, saying that they've watched the YouTube, which is fucking sick. Last full day of eating's nearly at 100 views, which I'm super happy with. I've just been talking, I've got fucking chocolate all around my mouth. And in my teeth. Wow, that is sexy. Prime example of why I don't have a girlfriend. But yeah, last full day of eating did really well. And we're going to keep on top of this momentum. Alright guys, so like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. I don't know how to fucking sign these things off. Peace out, guys.